So I had a room full of people yesterday. There were probably 70 people in attendance yesterday. People curious about ADHD and relationships. And so the question that I'll attempt to answer is, so in my practice, what do I notice? What walks in the door, basically? And often, the biggest thing is people are incredibly fused around conflict, just enmeshed in endless rounds of conflict around time management, clutter, you name it, all the ADHD classic symptoms. And one of the things I chose to do at the workshop yesterday was approach the problem that I see most couples grapple with, part of it being developmental, and that relationships go through developmental process. So it goes through a symbiotic stage, differentiation stage, practicing stage, rapprochement stage, and on to the final stage. And the point I was making yesterday is that people misconstrue growing, differentiating as bad. So differentiation is marked by conflict and chaos and a growing sense of self and looking at your partner and saying, oh man, I'm seeing kind of some of the bad stuff about them. I'm seeing them for who they really are. So starting to see somebody, for everything, warts and all. And coming to grips with the fact that this person isn't necessarily the idealized partner that I saw in the very beginning. So when I see people coming into my office as couples that way, what I try to do is work with them on one level developmentally and outline a process that, okay, you guys are here, perhaps fused in the symbiotic stage. How are we going to get you to move forward? What roles are you playing that keep you stuck? And the thing that I've learned over the years is it's really hard to give up roles that we've assumed in relationships. It's somebody brought up in the workshop yesterday about looking at relationships and families as systems, and I think it's really relevant to mention that, because let's look at a relationship, two people, as a system. You add a couple kids, you have 4 parts to a system. But a system doesn't like change. A system likes things to stay the way they are. A system supports homeostasis, and it's so. For instance, if somebody in a couple that I'm working with actually attends a life strategies group and learns about differentiation and how to optimize brain function and how to start making different choices in terms of communication, they take that back into the relationship. The relationship as a system pushes back. It's like, we're more comfortable with the way things were, so change back, change back, change back. The work becomes that person really hanging on to him or herself in the midst of that change back message, and that's tough. Where I see progress is when both people are open to the change. They can recognize the stages, they can recognize the feelings, perhaps just the intensity of making the changes, and having it normalized and saying, this is okay, this is the way it's supposed to be. That once we make it through this particular part of the process, it's going to get much better.